A question which I think is well worth asking and beginning to look at is whether or not it's possible that Trump, others in this administration, and certainly others supporting this supporting this administration, were really the heads of the Epstein empire. So I'm not big on conspiracy theories, but think of this, that a lot of the Epstein associates have died, and a number of them under mysterious circumstances. Even Epstein himself died under mysterious circumstances. To the best of my knowledge, there is no suspicious activity reports filed on the Epstein financial dealings with banks, but we know that there were with Trump, because that's where Capital One Bank stopped dealing with Trump. We also know that J.P. Morgan Chase, long after Capital One and long after there were public reports of Epstein's misdeeds, had got around to filing suspicious activity reports with respect to Epstein. But we know he was financed. He'd started in the 1980s as a low-level broker for Bear Stearns and ends up with hundreds of millions of dollars. So you have to ask yourself where that came from. And with Trump being tied in with the Russian oligarchs who are not exactly shying away from illicit activities, he's been involved with them since the 1990s, and it coincides with millions of dollars, coincides time-wise, with millions of dollars ending up in Epstein's pocket. So that we know Trump is throughout the Epstein files, and we also know that he and Todd Blanche and the rest of the administration are desperately trying to keep those Epstein files from our prying eyes. We also know that a mega donor to Trump out of Texas owns the Zorro Ranch in New Mexico, where it is claimed that the bodies of children have been buried, and that children of both sexes were abused at that ranch. But at the same time, we also know that the FBI had put together an 86-page report on drug dealing that the Trump administration killed in 2019 before President Biden took office, and that apparently, at least my recollection is, Trump was mentioned throughout that. Well, that's not fair to say. The Trump was mentioned in connection with that also. So we have Epstein, we have money laundering, we have drug dealing, and we have a president of the United States is one of the most prominent mentioned who's still alive. So there are dots to be connected, and certainly dots to be investigated as to what Trump's real role in the Epstein files is or was, and whether or not it really should be called the Trump files.